Hi, this is Becky Holloway. I am in product marketing at Revitas, and today I am talking with Yoon, one of our solution engineers focused on contract lifecycle management. This will be the first of a two-part series on SOX and contract management. We're going to talk today about the impact of Sarbanes-Oxley on how companies are managing their contracts. So it has been 10 years since Sarbanes-Oxley was passed back in 2002. And as you know, the primary objective of the SOX Act is to increase the integrity of companies' financial results and reporting. As a result, providing visibility into the terms of contracts underlying revenue and expense forecasts has become a senior management imperative. From a financial standpoint, what happens when a company doesn't have visibility into its contracts?
Well, Becky, at the heart of the Act and all the subsequent SEC legislation, there are really two fundamental issues. First, establishing sound business processes and ensuring the accuracy of the financial statements that companies produce. All of the accounting abuses and record-keeping irregularities that led into this new era of compliance really have resulted in an additional increase in governance over not only the financial reporting of companies' results, but also the underlying risks and forecasts that might be gleaned from contracts that organizations undertake and close within given financial periods. The Act states that any reports containing financial statements that are prepared within GAAP principles and filed with the SEC must reflect not only all material concerning financial transactions, but also any material that are relevant to ongoing operational results and future results. So you think of this as really being information that's typically managed by an ERP system or financial transaction systems. But while in the past those systems have been excellent at tracking detailed financial information and commitments that are based on actual transactions, such as orders, order volume, shipments, purchase orders, invoices, that transactional data really doesn't give you the insight into the ongoing business outlooks that a company might have. Part of the SEC requirement really requires that public companies summarize their ongoing business outlook in the management and discussion and analysis of financial conditions in their SEC periodic reports. In the MD&A sections of these reports, they really need to capture a snapshot of their ongoing business. So aggregating key contractual information in a single location really helps them to very quickly summarize and provide visibility into the company's liquidity and ongoing capital position, any risks that they might have. And if you read any of these, if you take a look at anyone's financial reports, you see that in their quarterly outlooks, they really start to drill into individual transactions or trends within contracts that impact the outlook to their business. Just as an example, if you think about a software company that might be shifting from a traditional license, perpetual license model to a subscription model, this might have an impact on the current quarter, but as their business model shifts and the type of agreements that they execute with their customers changes over time, this is going to have a significant impact on the overall forecast of their business. So this is all relevant information for investors as well as anyone taking a look at the financial health of that organization.
So where an ERP system would be really focused on the transactions, a contract management system is really going to give you a much more holistic view of that financial picture.
Yeah, it really rounds out the reporting versus taking a backward look at what happened within a quarter or previous quarters, allowing the organization to give a more forward-looking bent into how their business is operating and trends and perhaps exceptions that might have happened within a quarterly period and provide concrete explanations as to why those results occurred.
Okay, so what then are some contract management best practices that can assist in establishing SOX compliance?
Well, first and foremost, you're really looking at providing a centralized repository of all trading agreements, contractual commitments that you might have within an organization, and that really is your core repository, the contracts repository that lists all of that information. So as you have ongoing obligations and commitments with things like lease agreements, sales agreements, supply agreements with key trading partners, if you're a services organization, establishing new master terms and conditions with key customers might predict future revenue. So all of those different types of agreements might have relevance into rolling up into your financial reporting. So being able to capture not only the type and value of those agreements, sometimes the value might be low, but the future value would be high, is you need to capture all of the key data elements that drive the types of agreements that are being created. So what's your risk and exposure in supply agreements? How are those prices being changed? Are you locking those prices in if you're a very commodities-driven organization in your production and supply chain? Or perhaps if you're selling in a very commodity-based environment, changes in long-term pricing or discounting strategies to key customers or key channels would have a significant impact in your forecast as well. So being able to capture those contract attributes and have them roll into a centralized database that's very easy to slice and dice, gain insight from during the quarterly close process is imperative.
Thank you for joining us for our two-part series on Sarbanes-Oxley and contract management. Part 2 will be available very shortly, so stay tuned.